Hello, this is John from caveofprogramming.com. In this tutorial, I'm going to normalize my database, so not Spring specific stuff. And you might want to skip this if you just want to look at Spring stuff. But the problem is now with this application that I've added tables to this database just kind of as and when I needed them for the purposes of the tutorial. And we've got repeated data in here. For example, email is in both users and offers, and that reflects problems with the way the web app functions as well, because we force people to enter their email address when they add an offer to the website. But now we've got the login working, they have to enter their email address in any case when they create an account on the website, and they can't add an offer, an advert, without creating an account. So I'm going to fix that because I want to develop the app a bit further and show you some more Spring stuff. But first I need to sort this little bit of a mess out. I've added in the last tutorial some JUnit tests for my DAO files, my DAO classes. So if I go to test here and go to this tests package, I can right click the package, go to run as JUnit test, and that runs tests verifying my DAOs. I certainly could create tests for other aspects of the application, like the security and the service layer, and I guess everything, controllers, everything in the application. But I'm happy just having tests with my DAOs, I think, for the moment. So what I'm going to do now is normalize the database, and then in the next tutorial I'll fix the DAOs and we'll fix the tests if we have to reflect the new structure of the DAOs, and I'll get the tests running again so that we know that the DAO layer is successfully refactored, and after that we can change the rest of the website, which I'll test by hand. So the database bit here is pretty simple. I've got email here in offers, just needs to be deleted, and so does name. So let's double click off at the offers table here in the model in MySQL Workbench. I'm just going to right click email and delete it, delete selected columns. Name I need to transfer to users, because rather than people entering their name when they enter the text of their advertisement, it's better if they enter their name when they create the account on the application. So I'm just going to right click this, name, and go to cut, double click users, click in here and just click paste to paste name into the users table. Now while we're at it, I created a users and authorities table separately because Spring uses that structure by default, but I could very well combine authorities with users in the case of this application, at least. So let's do that. Let's double click authorities and right click and cut the authority column, double click users and paste the authority column into users. And then I can just delete the authorities table, and I'll save this to be going on with. Now every one of my offers in the offers table is connected to a unique user. So a user might possibly have more than one offer that they placed on the website. That's a decision I'll make later. But what is for sure is that each offer is going to have one and only one user associated with it. So let's double click the offers table here, and actually I can use a facility of this workbench to add a foreign key, so that every row in the offers table has a username actually, and the username is the primary key in users, so that will associate each offer with a row in the users table. So I'll click this 1 to n crow's foot thing here, click the offers table, and then click the username column in users. Now we can see from this crow's foot thing here that every user has 0 or more offers. I think that all looks fine, and let's save it and go to database, forward engineer. You might want to create a backup of your database before you do this if you've got valuable data in your old version of the database. Let's select a connection, click continue. I'll click generate drop schema because I think that will drop the existing database, which is what I want. I want to just wipe it out and continue. Here's my SQL, and we see that we've added a key. Actually, I've added a key called users_username to the Office table. I'm just gonna correct that actually because I wanted to rename that. Let's get rid of this. And the foreign key in the Office table, I'm just going to rename it to username because I like my foreign keys to have the same name as the primary key that they refer to. So there's no repeated data in here now. There is the username repeated in both of these tables, but that's necessary to connect the tables. One is a foreign key and the other a primary key, and you expect those to be, in a sense, repeated. So let's try it again, and hopefully this time it will work. I'll go to Forward Engineer under the Database menu, click Continue, 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 and now if I look at the Office table down here, we've got a username key, and we've got a foreign key constraint that says that it must correspond to a username in the users table, so we can't have an offer without a user. I'll click Continue, and it's green, so hopefully that's worked. Well, it will have worked. I could also do the same to my test database, really, which might not be a bad idea. I'm not sure actually here how I can easily change this. Yeah, maybe if I change the schema name here to Spring Test, that's the name of my test database, and save it and go to Database Forward Engineer again. Hopefully we can also recreate the test database. This is green. And let's go to the Home tab and go to a Query tab now and have a look at the database. So I've got my two databases here, Spring Test and Spring Tutorial. I'm just going to right click Spring Test and go to Set as Default Schema, and let's do Desk Users. Actually, let's do Show Tables first. So here are my tables. I've still got an authorities table in there. I think that it didn't get deleted. Let's do desk offers. So we have got the new structure for the Office table, and if I do desk users, we've got the name in the users table as well. So we just need to do drop table authorities because we don't need it anymore. Same for the Spring Tutorial database. I'll do Set as Default Schema and Show Tables. Yeah, for some reason the authorities table got wiped out there. I don't know why. I'm not sure what's going on there, but let's just do Desk Users, and it looks good. It's got the authority and the name in there, and Desk Offers looks good as well. So I think these two databases are identical as far as I can see. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial, and until next time, happy coding.